Somebody decided to empty out their fish tank inside their tub, so it's a drum trap too. Kind of a shitty situation. Maybe it's a fishy situation. All right, so this one's a good one. All right, new construction gets a little boring. It takes a certain person to make it interesting, and even I, as certain as possible, can't make it that interesting. We got the drum trap coming off. I don't know, look at that thing. It's about 2 feet away from the tub, and we got to get this thing cut out. So the rumor has it was that the last tenant moved out and emptied his fish tank inside of the tub, but come to find out it wasn't that from what I could tell. Maybe they put some crystallized drain cleaner down her, because when I was plunging her, there was some teal stuff coming back up, but that's definitely not teal right there. That's brown. Mustache be stashing, boys. Now's your chance. Any shirt that you can order off of my site, your order number will be put into the pot for a new M12 Pro Press gun. Now till Saturday. We're on day 6. Or is it day 2? Depends on how you want to count. Up, down. There's the drum trap. I didn't see any fish tank shit in there. All I saw was some shit in there. But it gets picked up with a galvanized TY. That's right, TY. And galvanized, that's where it all gets gunked up. For some reason, it just wants to stick right there. So that's the reason why the tub didn't drain. And this was one of the most difficult tub drains I've probably had to cut out. And I actually enjoyed every second of it because it was a challenge. It wasn't like the new construction I've been doing lately. It was a change of scenery. So I tried to get the nipple out of that galvanized 90 up there. Look at that tub. I brought some plywood with me so I can put the ladder on the tub, work like a gent. Anyways, for those who want to ask where Nemo is during this call, he was there in the beginning. Then I had to reschedule it because I knew it was going to take me about 4 hours. So I put Nemo on a new construction with another journeyman for the morning while I went and took care of this call because there's only room for one person in this bathroom at the moment. Yes, that truss is completely annihilated underneath the tub, but it's been like that since I think the house was built in the early 1900s. So it wasn't this plumber, it was the last plumber. Don't worry, I'm going to clean up at the end, all right? I do my best. So I tried to spin that 90 off because I couldn't get the nipple out due to the angle of the wall and where that galvy came through the floor. So I started hitting with a hammer because I was fucking angry at that point, and I got the joint up at the T loose, and it spun right out. It's strange. But anyways, at the end, I didn't have what I needed. I had to go to Ace Hardware down the street. That joint up at that T in the galvy that I just pulled out is going to be where I actually make my final connection. So now that's right. We got the mission coupling on, a Y, and then I got the, what do you guys call that thing? I got the Waco 901 going in. And the last, that right there, the U of the P-trap is always your last joint. You pipe it to, and you pipe it from, and then you put the U, and then you make sure you put a little kickstand underneath. And now it's time to make the last connection. What I did was I glued the male adapter onto the PVC itself, and then I just threw a shit ton of glue inside the back of the Y, and then the 90 itself, see, up there? And I put the 90 into the back of the Y, and while the riser was still wet, I spun the threads into the T above. Believe it or not, it actually worked. It was a Sunday morning. Who would have thought? Things went pretty well. I got there at 10, and I got out of there at 1:45-ish, roughly. I use silicone because that's what I use. It works every time, 90% of the time. And now I fill the tub all the way up with water and send a drain down. And this will be the last time I talk about this in the video. 30packjack.com. Next 6 days, buy anything in the store. Order number goes to an M12 Pro Press gun that will show up in the mail on your porch with whatever you bought. That's the final right there. There it is. It's not bad. I thought that came out pretty good, to be quite honest with you. And now a drain cleaner can assess it and don't have to worry about the drum trap. Throw some water down the overflow, make sure all's well. Dump the whole tub, and we're going to call it good. For a mean service call, that one went pretty well in the end, honestly. Usually when I'm starting to wrap up is when it starts to leak. So Not a single leak. I had to roll the top overflow over to get away from the 4-inch quarter bend that someone